So is it possible to build an email list from a Facebook group? Do you have the ability to, as you add in members to your Facebook group, to also put them on your email list? That's the topic of today's show. I'm going to share with you 3 tips to getting started building your list with Facebook groups. Let's get started. Hey messengers, welcome to the Market Your Message Show. I'm your host, Jonathan Milligan, and author of the book, Your Message Matters, How to Rise Above the Noise and Get Paid for What You Know. This show is for messengers. If you have a message to share, in other words, you're a writer, you're a coach, maybe you're a course creator, we want to help you figure out that difficult piece of actually building that audience. So we're going to help you build your audience and grow your business. That's what this show is all about. In today's topic, I'm going to be talking to you about the 3 tips to building your email list using Facebook groups. So what are we going to cover today? Here's what we're going to cover. I'm going to talk to you about the difference between a public and private Facebook group. And yes, there is a big difference. You'll find out in just a minute. Number 2, I'm going to talk to you about why you should use the 3 qualifying questions for every member who joins. Number 3, I'm going to talk to you about an automated tool that can help you to add people to your email list. So as they join your group, their email address automatically gets added to your ConvertKit, MailChimp, Aweber, whatever you use. And we're going to talk about so much more. So I'm really excited about diving into that. But before we jump into those 3 big tips, have you got your free copy of my latest book? We still have some copies available. I want to send you a free hardcover copy of the book, Your Message Matters. All you got to do is go to yourmessagemattersbook.com and just pay the shipping, and we'll ship you out a book. It's also available in bookstores. It's available on Amazon, but you can actually get this book for free. Just pay for shipping. Again, just go to yourmessagemattersbook.com and get your free copy. It's my 10 years of running an online business, broken down step by step. Everything is in there. There's not anything that I do that's not in the book. I hope you enjoy it. All right. So let's talk about these 3 tips. And for those that are watching live, we do a live filming of the show, but we also make this a YouTube video and podcast. So if you're listening to the podcast, I'm going to describe a little bit of the screen sharing that I'm doing. If you want to actually see the video that goes with this episode, the link will be down in the show notes. Whatever you listen to podcast on, you can go click the link, go check out the actual video, but I'm going to describe it for you as well. All right. So what are my 3 tips? Tip number 1 is you got to choose the right Facebook group. So it's free for you to start a Facebook group. You can literally do this on your own Facebook account and just create a group. And there's 3 kind of groups. So it's important that you pick the right one. The first one is known as a hidden group. Now, a hidden group would be if you wanted to have a Facebook group with just your family. Maybe your family doesn't live in the same location and you want to have a hidden group. What a hidden group means is that you have to be invited to it, but other people can't find it. If they were to search for the group, they could not find it. So it's completely hidden, invite only. The other kind of group is a public group, and this is the one that most people start with, is they start with a public group, which means anybody can just click join group and instantly you are a part of the group. I don't recommend that, even though it seems like you're making it easy for people to join. They don't have to request to join, and you're trying to make your life easier as a moderator because you don't want to have to go and approve people on a weekly, daily basis. I get it. But there's a very, very important reason why you want the third one, and that is called a private group. So we're going to create a private group, and as a private group, they have to request to join. And in just a second, I'm going to show you my private Facebook group that we've been building. And show you a little bit of why this is so valuable to building that email list. Because why do you want to do this in the first place? Maybe I should mention that before we get too far into this. Here's the truth. I am a huge fan of building an email list. An email list is how you can communicate on a regular basis. But here's the reality, and this is across the industry wide, okay? Here it is. Here's what I'm trying to get to. The open rates have slowly began to go down over time. People are just getting inundated with emails. There's lots of emails. And so, you may have at once had 30 or 40% open rates, and now today it's 20%. What that means is 80% of the people on your list don't hear about your webinar. They're not hearing about your awesome blog post or your podcast. So how are we going to communicate to those other 80%? One of the ways that we do this is by also getting them in the Facebook group. So it works both ways. When someone joins the Facebook group, we capture their email address and they get on the list. When someone joins the list, the welcome email invites them to join the Facebook group. These work together, and by doing so, you're able to hold on to that relationship a little bit longer. Okay, now that I've kind of hit that, and there's a few more reasons why you want a Facebook group, but we'll save that for another episode. So you want a private Facebook group because that allows you as the owner of that Facebook group to ask some qualifying questions. So this is tip number 2. In order to collect an email address, you've got to ask some qualifying questions. So I'm going to jump into my Facebook group. So I'm showing my Facebook group on the screen. And as the administrator, you'll see over here on the left right now, there's member request. Right now, we've got 4 people requesting to become member. Daily, I have somebody on my team who's constantly adding people in. So we had 12 this morning. Those probably got cleared out. Another 4 are joining. And so here's the thing. People are finding your Facebook group in a lot of different ways. And we'll do a future episode on this. But as your group grows, it starts showing up in the suggested groups section on the right sidebar of Facebook. So if someone's joined a similar group, it's going to show them your group. What that means is you are attracting people organically as your group grows because Facebook is showing them, hey, you're already interested in being a writer. You should also think about this group as well. Okay. But back to the questions. You see right here, it says membership questions. The membership questions are 3 questions that you can ask somebody before they request to join. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this. I'm actually show you my questions. And for those that are watching, I'm going to try to make this a little bit bigger. And some of the psychology behind these 3 questions, and I've done this in various ways, and I've had different mentors, but a guy named Landon Stewart, part of Clients and Community Facebook group, he talks about the importance of having these 3 types of questions. And we found these to work really well for us. So question number 1 is this. This group is for aspiring writers, bloggers, coaches, speakers, and or course creators. Do any of these describe you? Yes or no? The reason we're asking that question is because I'm trying to qualify that someone who wants to join this group is actually my audience. My goal is not to have the biggest group. My goal is to have a very niche focused group. Okay, so that's first question. Question 2, and this is the magical question. This is my own version of this, and I'll explain why in just a second. But Landon, the guy I was talking about, he doesn't necessarily do it this way, but I combine 2 strategies that work well for me. The second question, question number 2, is where you ask for the email. Now, what you want to do here is you want to give them a reason. Don't just say, what is your email address? They will skip it, okay? Because the way this is set up, they don't have to answer the questions. Facebook does not make it required. But I am able to get well over 80% of the people who join the group to give me their email address. And here's why. I make it a reason for them to do so. So what I currently have here is this question. Question 2, we're hosting a free live 5-day Rise Above the Noise workbook in this group. What's your best email address to send you the PDF workbook when it's ready? Do you see like a reason why 80% of the people put in an email address here? Because, wow, cool. Jonathan's going to do a free live workshop and I want the workbook so I can fill in the blanks. And so this is a way for you to capture an email address. Now, when I wasn't doing my live 5-day challenge, my standard one is I have an evergreen launch your blog 7-day challenge. So it's a course. So I have a course. And so I would say something like, I've put together a course called the 7-day launch your blog challenge. If you're interested in that, it's free. Just put in your email address. And then when they get added to my list, they'll automatically be added to that sequence, which is an automated follow-up email series inside my ConvertKit account. So that's question 2. Question 3 is for those of you who want to find people who might be interested in your coaching or your services, right? So the question goes like this. We specialize in helping writers, coaches, and course creators grow their audience online so they can grow their business using a 4-step method. Would you like us to private message you the details explaining how? Type yes or no. So if someone says yes here, we can start having a conversation in Facebook Messenger. And if they feel like they got their questions answered and they're interested, we can have them book a call to learn more about our program. Like some of you that are here live, you are already in our program. You're in the Insiders program. So that is how those 3 questions can work. So again, qualifying your audience. Question 2, capturing that email address. Question 3, capturing a potential customer. You think that's pretty cool? I think that's pretty cool. So that for me is tip number 2. Okay. Now you say, Jonathan, but what do I do when people answer the questions and then I approve them? What happens? So here's one of the things that you got to be careful of. And I learned this the hard way. We had to pivot pretty quickly. When you approve someone who answers the questions, their answers go away. There's no way to go find them. So if you just like, I got 5 people who want to join, approve, you don't have a way to capture that email address and put it into your ConvertKit or whatever you use. So that's number 1. Number 2, what we started doing is I had somebody on my team who would check this group every day and capture the answers and go copy and paste them into a spreadsheet. You can do that. I don't recommend that you do that yourself. That's not probably the best use of your time, but if you have a virtual assistant or you have somebody that's on your team, you can have them do that. But what I like is what I'm giving you right now. Tip 3 is a software that can do this automatically. So the software is called GroupKit. And let me show you what that actually looks like. So here is GroupKit. And again, if you're listening to the podcast, you can hop over to the video if you want to see it, but I'll try to describe it. So basically, this is a kind of a Chrome extension. It is a paid tool. So they have different payment options. You can take a lower monthly payment, a higher monthly payment, or you can just pay it all at once. So it's up to you. And what it does is you can hook it to your groups. And when you approve the member, it will actually add their answers to your database in GroupKit. So you can see here right now we've got 60 new members that have joined our Facebook group this week. We have 53 of those who gave us their email address, right? And 3 new emails today. And then when I click on the group name, this becomes almost my CRM. If you're familiar with sales, then this CRM, customer relationship management software, you have the ability to see who answered yes. You can click on their name and it will create a Facebook Messenger. It'll take you right to their Facebook Messenger where you could say something like, hey, thanks for joining the group. What's your biggest challenge right now when it comes to whatever? And start up a conversation. Now, don't spam people. Don't try to straight arm them and sell them on your products or service. We don't want to do that, but we want to start the conversation and be helpful. So that is how that works. Now, The thing that I love about this is GroupKit works with several different email integrations. It works with ConvertKit, which I use. It works with Aweber, MailChimp. I think there's about 8 or 9 different ones it works with. So once you get your group set up, all you do is you connect, in my case, I connect my ConvertKit account, and then it will automatically, when I approve, not only do I capture all the answers in GroupKit on their online cloud, but the emails automatically get added to my email list. That's pretty cool, my friend. So which of the 3 tips did you like today? Tip 1 was to make sure you choose the right group. We don't want hidden. We don't want public. We want a private group. Tip 2 is to have really good qualifying questions. Question 1 should be have them self-identify that they're your ideal customer. Question 2 should be capturing their email address. And question 3 should see if they might be actually a candidate for one of your coaching or products. So which tip do you like? Let me know. And also, once again, if you have not grabbed your copy of the book, Your Message Matters, you can get a free copy. Just go to yourmessagemattersbook.com. Just pay for the shipping and handling. We'll ship you out a book. And I go way more in depth into my entire system for how I run my online business. And it's yours to enjoy. All right, that's it for this episode. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the likes, comments, shares. In fact, take a moment right now and just share this out if you would, or rate us and review us as well. I hope this has been helpful to you. I try to bring something practical and useful on every single episode. So until next time, never forget, your message matters.